All right, let's get to our 12 honorees tonight for the Philadelphia chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. We start to my right, the far left here, Cosmo DeNicola, one of the great entrepreneurs in our region, spanning various industries, including sports. Cosmo is one of the owners of the Philadelphia Soul. He previously owns an Arena 2 football team, and all told in his 9 years of professional football ownership, Cos's teams have won 5 divisions. They have won 4 conference championships, and in the 9 years he's been an owner, have made the playoffs 8 out of 9 years. Cosmo is also business partners in the sports world with the super agent Lee Steinberg, who many of you probably know was the inspiration for the character in the movie Jerry Maguire. Cosmo, I've gotten to know him very well over the last couple of years. He's a tremendous person. He's extremely charitable in the community and excessively successful with what he does. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we honor Cosmo DeNicola.
I'm feeling very at home tonight. I'm from Northeast Philly, and I'm very proud to be from Northeast Philly and be in Northeast Philly. So let's hear it for Northeast Philadelphia. First of all, I'd like to start out by thanking the City All-Star chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame and congratulate all my fellow inductees. I'm proud to be part of this fantastic group. As I said, my name is Cosmo DeNicola, and I love football. Anyone else in this room love football? Football, right? Football is all about team, and I think that's what attracted me to football at a very young age. And unlike most of the other people being honored today, my career started at the age of 50. When I came back from my 50th birthday party that my wife Janet graciously threw, I looked in the mirror and I wasn't satisfied with what I had done up to that point in my life. And I decided that night it was time to get busy. So I had always loved football and wanted to play in the NFL. But as any of my coaches, some who may have been here from North Catholic, would attest to, I wasn't really ready. So reality set in. And I went to Temple University looking forward to being a doctor and playing football. And I ended up doing neither of those two things. And for some of you that go back to that era, freshmen weren't really allowed to play varsity football in the NCAA. And we had a freshman coach at Temple by the name of Frank Murph Messino, for some of you guys that have been around a while. And I'll never forget being in the basement of McGonigal Hall meeting with Coach Frank. And he said to me, Cosmo, not that you're not going to win the Heisman Trophy, but I'm basically projecting you to hold the blocking dummies for the next 4 years. So you talk about reality? Well, that day, one dream ended, but then another dream began. And I would never have owned a football team if it wasn't for what I'm going to talk about, some of my teammates. A gentleman by the name of Bill Rohanna that introduced me to the game of arena football in Northeast Pennsylvania with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Pioneers, to give me an opportunity to love the game and love everything about it, of the players, just the pageantry of it, football. Craig Spencer, my partner with the Philadelphia Soul, developing a relationship with him that ultimately would allow me to become involved with the Philadelphia Soul when John Bon Jovi started to set his sights on the NFL. And I definitely wouldn't be in football and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my wife, Janet. Janet, just wave. Janet has always supported me, and she was my cheerleader. And every day when I went to the games or I went to practice, I just heard Janet in the back of my head saying, "Go, Cos, go." So thank you so much, Janet, for kind of cheering me on too. So my sports career can be broken into 2 areas. The first, arena football, which I love. If you haven't taken it in yet, it's the most thrilling sport ever. It's real football, but it's a lot of scoring, and anyone who's offensive oriented or quarterback oriented will love the game. Come out and see us at the Soul. I'd love to be your host. And I was fortunate through my involvement in sports and in football in particular to meet some tremendous people that taught me a lot of great lessons, both on the field and off. Coach Dick Vermeil, probably the first thing I learned from him was be yourself. Whether you're an owner, whether you're in a locker room, whether you're on the field, whether you're in the stands, be true to yourself and let your players and the fans understand what you're all about. So thank you, Coach Vermeil, for really giving me that great advice. A great friend of mine, the brother that I never had, Ron Jaworski, taught me it's not easy to win a football game, so never take winning for granted. And that's a great lesson in life. Any success that we have, whether it's raising a great child, whether it's some things in business or it's involved with the community, whatever it is, sometimes we need to take pause and just celebrate the moment a little bit. And Ron taught me how to do that. And of course, my good friend Vince Papali, and we know Vince, his basic philosophy was everyone can be invincible, and in every life you can have invincible moments. And to those three great mentors, I want to say thank you to them this evening. So can I hear a little round of applause for those three great people? What do I enjoy about football? Well, three things really that I can relate to. First of all, football is all about young people. And being involved in young people at a point of their life where they're highly competitive, they're excited about the future, they're positive about their life, it really helps make us feel younger and adopt that philosophy. As we get older and deal with some of the ups and downs of the realities of life and the challenges that we're all dealing with, sometimes it makes us a little sour or maybe not so positive about the future. But in the football business and dealing with young people, it really helped transform me into a much younger state of mind. So that's probably the thing that I've enjoyed the most about football. Number two, I love to compete. Any winners in here? Who likes to compete in this room? Winners? You love to compete? Come on, guys in the back. I saw you. Winning is really big. You have to want to win. You have to go all out. And I guess finally the third thing that I've enjoyed about being in being in the football business is that I was born in Northeast Philly, raised in Northeast Philly. I'm from Philly, and I love representing my city. So let's hear it for Philly here. Memories. There's some great memories when you're involved. This will be my 10th season owning a professional football team. And there are tremendous memories, and some of them are really not positive, but all of them impact you. I remember spending 4 hours in a hospital in Green Bay with one of my players, who was the toughest player, a linebacker on our team, pound for pound, a real tough guy. But he was injured, and spending 4 hours with him when he wasn't sure if he was going to be paralyzed or not, all he wanted to do was reach out and have me call his mother. And to spend 4 hours with someone like that, in that situation, teaches you a lot about love and family. And I've learned an awful lot from that situation, and to this day, it's still a part of me and part of my soul. The crying that happens in a locker room. We see, yesterday was a great example. High fives, the confetti, everyone excited. Wow, we're winners, we're champs. Well, guess what? That's not what's going on in the other locker room. You have 350-pound guys, young men, crying their eyes out because their dreams and hopes were just dashed because they lost. And that's something that really impacts you too. When you strip away all of the excitement and the external fun of the games, and you get really down to the human emotion, it just makes you feel great to be part of that. And finally, the best thing is the locker room, hugging players. Guys that give their body, give their time, give their lives, and in some cases give their physical well-being, as we all learned from some of the latest things in the NFL. It's nice to be part of that. Second part of my sports career, as Joe had indicated, is my partnership with Lee Steinberg. For those of you that don't know Lee, he's had 60 first-round draft choices as an agent in the NFL. He had 8 number 1 picks in a row in the NFL draft. And he's taught me an awful lot. The real-life Jerry Maguire. So if you don't have the movie, I'm sure everyone in this room's seen it. You should make sure you see it. But Lee taught me some lessons that I took with me in my everyday life in business. He said it's really not about showing me the money. It's more, show me the way to a responsible and meaningful life, starting with retracing your roots. So the theme of my presentation has been all about Philadelphia. I think it's important for all of us to retrace our roots and continue to honor and respect our roots and to give back. And I like to believe I've made a lifetime of doing that. Thank you. Yep. One of the recent things, 2 years ago, my proudest moment in sports, we launched the Steinberg DeNicola Humanitarian Awards, and we give out those awards at our annual Super Bowl party to people who represent the good in the NFL and about the NFL. And some of the award winners have been Woody Johnson of the New York Jets for public health, Anquan Bolton for underprivileged youth, Coach Jeff Fisher of the LA Rams, does that sound right? LA Rams, right? For Wounded Warriors projects, and a young player by the name of Jonathan Babineau, who plays for the Atlanta Falcons, who as a young person supports 85 charities. Can you imagine that? 85 charities. These are really Hall of Fame people who inspire me. So I never dreamt of owning a professional football team. I certainly never dreamt of entering the Hall of Fame. I just worked hard and loved my teammates. In the beginning of each season, I make the same speech to our players in the locker room. Owners don't win championships. The front office doesn't win championships. Players don't win championships. Teams win championships. And that's an important distinction, teams. And finally, in conclusion, my teammates. To my players, coaches, front office, and co-owners, and my assistant Natalie, thank you for sharing. To my family, including my sister and niece, Karen and Melissa, thank you for loving. To my children, Mike, Morgan, Steph, thank you for being there. And finally, again, to my wife of 42 years, Janet, and everyone at my table, you all are going into the Hall of Fame with me. Thank you.